Good morning, state of Alabama. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to each of you who have served and sacrificed our country. We appreciate your service. I'm joined by a very special guest this morning, Miss Sylacauga, Valerie Ogle. Thank you for coming and joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Valerie, I would like to discuss some of your community initiative now that you're Miss Sylacauga.
Yes. So my community service initiative is called Kindness Cures. Previously, we went under the name of Smiles for Miles, and it was about the pediatric cancer journey. So many children are diagnosed each year with cancer, and the journey is just so draining. It leaves families feeling hopeless, like they're hitting a rock bottom. But then I finally decided that it needed some expansion. We have more than just children who face cancer, and there are more than just children who face this journey and feel alone. So we've decided that it's going under a new name. Some rebranding got done, and it's Kindness Cures, like I said, and it's just about walking with families along the cancer journey and just encouraging hope and promoting normalcy to continue on.
That is excellent. I look forward to working with you some. For those who don't know, I'm Laura Barlow Heath. I serve on the City of Sylacauga Council for District 5. I am the newly named council president. And also I would like to thank several sponsors today who is sponsoring our Veterans Day program and parade. We have had a fantastic turnout, although it's a rainy day. Representative Ben Robbins, Coosa Valley Medical Center, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, and Radney and Smith Funeral Home are some of our key sponsors today. Valerie, tell me about being Miss Sylacauga. What do you do as Miss Sylacauga?
Well, I won my prelim here in Sylacauga. I was born and raised in the Rockford area, and so I grew up in Sylacauga. I started taking dance right across the street at Shirley's. Upon winning the title, it qualifies me for Miss Alabama, so I will be competing in Miss Alabama as Miss Sylacauga this June. And I'm so excited for the opportunity to represent this area in community service and outreach to support the Miss America organization. It's so much more than a beauty pageant, and I'm grateful to have the platform to speak about Miss Alabama and the Miss America organization and just get involved with the community. There's so much more that this program has to offer. We have several different areas of competition. We've got fitness, we've got on-stage evening gown, we have a private interview, which is the majority of the competition. We have our talent. I'm a ballet dancer. I've been taking ballet since probably before I even really knew how to walk and run. But it's just a great opportunity to get scholarship money to promote our educations. I'm a pharmacy major at Sanford, and I'm in my second year of pharmacy school.
Wonderful.
So I'm just grateful for the opportunity to get involved in Sylacauga and promote the organization.
Well, we are definitely glad to have you. There's a younger Miss Sylacauga.
Yes, so we have what we call, there are 3 branches of the organization. We have our Rising Stars, which are young girls who are ages 7 to 11 usually, and it gives them an opportunity to kind of step up under us and go through the Miss America organization with us. They get to ride along. My sweet Rising Stars will be in the parade today, and then Camilla is our teen, and those girls are 13 to 18 usually. And it's the same thing as Miss Alabama, but for younger girls before they step into that role of preparing for Miss Alabama. So I'm so excited to see all of them today.
That is awesome. What do you look forward to during your time as Miss Sylacauga? What are you most looking forward to?
Community service is my heart. This program has been one of the longest preliminaries for Miss Alabama, and so Sylacauga is just, actually I think it's been the longest prelim. And so I'm grateful to represent an area with such established history of women who have just been empowered by this organization and have become leaders in their community, like you, Lady President.
Thank you.
So I'm just really excited to continue on that journey and to continue to promote the program in this area.
That is awesome. I look forward to working with you in the future because I know that you will be very active in our community. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
Yes, tell me about it. You said you're the first lady president. Tell me all about that.
Well, in the first, as far as we know, I'm the first lady president, and I'm very honored to serve in this role. It's I hope to empower other women that, hey, anybody can do it. You know, you can do it, I can do it, anybody can do it. And I just look forward to serving the people of Sylacauga and continuing to serve. I think that, you know, just because I'm president, it doesn't change my role within the community. I'm still here, I'm still available, I am, you know, working for the people.
And I know the people are so lucky to have you,
Thank you.
Not only as a woman who empowers other women to chase after their dreams, but like you said, you're setting the standard.
Thank
and so
you.
we're very grateful.
I appreciate that. So I just want to reiterate, I'm Laura Barlow Heath, District 5 City Council Representative, President of the Sylacauga City Council, and I'm joined today by Miss Sylacauga, Valerie Ogle. And we will be your hosts for the Veterans Day Parade. Happy Veterans Day to all of those who have served and sacrificed for our country.
Yes, I'm so excited to see some of the floats coming through. I know we have a nice little lineup of different veterans who have served over the years and people in the community who have just encouraged and supported them along the way. I just want to say again, thank you to the sponsors for today. We have Representative Ben Robbins, who has been one of the biggest sponsors, along with Coosa Valley Medical Center, Curtis and Son Funeral Homes, and Radney Smith. Guys, we thank you for your commitment to the community and encouraging and supporting this cause.
Valerie, tell me which when will you participate in Miss Alabama? When is that competition usually held?
So the Miss Alabama competition is usually held at the end of June. We'll have a week long of competition. I'm hoping to get in my Alpha Birdie group again. So
Awesome.
We have 3 different groups and they compete in a different area each day. And I know I touched on each of those areas earlier, but it's a week long thing. We're there surrounded by 40 plus other women in the state who are just encouraging others and leading in their communities as well. And so I'm just honored to be surrounded by some of the best from Alabama. But it usually happens at the end of June, so I've got plenty of time for all of the community service and outreach that I want to do.
Well, I am proud of you and the job that you're already doing. You're already making an impact in our community, and thank you for that. We should begin the parade in the next few minutes. We have a short rain delay, but we appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching as we get ready for the Sylacauga Veterans Day Parade.
So, now that you are First Lady, what is it that you're doing in the community to inspire others and promote the community?
Well, I try to be very transparent to all the constituents. You know, I serve District 5, I represent District 5, I'm voted in by District 5, and you know, my district goes all the way from Fayetteville to Childersburg, down to, it touches Fort William Street and West Walnut, down to the bottom of the hill at the hospital. I'm really all over. I've got properties annexed in all the way almost to Fayetteville. And so my district is very spread out, and I want to continue to just serve the people of District 5 and serve the community as a whole as I have been. I look forward to continuing to move the city forward in a forward progress. We're, you know, looking at a new community center with a new pool. We're looking at updating the existing pool to see what can be fixed with it. There's just so much. We have a huge paving project on the books, and that will really impact everyone, and even people outside of our city who visit our city. It's going to be a very good economic impact alone with the community center. And I hope to see our swim team revamped and restarted and able to practice locally.
That's so awesome. And I know there are so many others who probably look up to you beyond District 5. What is something that you would say to young women who are aspiring to be in a man's field, so we're told?
You can do it. Prove them wrong. You can do it. Anybody can do it. You just got to prove them wrong that you're capable of it, and keep your heart in it, and always remember that you work for the people. That is what gets lost a lot of times. You work for the people of Sylacauga. You are the taxpayers' representative. You are not voting on things that you personally feel, not for personal, anything for personal gain. You are voting for the people of Sylacauga. And that's something that I would like, for any aspiring young woman to remember that decides to get into politics or serve their community, that you always work for the people.
Absolutely. and we need more people who are working for the people rather than their own agendas. So I commend you for recognizing that and improving your communities in that way.
Well, it looks like our parade delay that they are getting ready to start.
I'm so excited.
I am too. I look forward to it. I know there are some fantastic floats and some people in there that will really, we have 2 bands, both Comer and Sylacauga will be participating. So I look forward to it. Okay. Let's see. We also, and Randy Clark is carrying the veteran flag, and along with Megan Santos. And then we have also student group Revolution's Baton Studio, directed by Jessica Coleman. Veteran John Hall. And our Grand Marshal will be Representative Ben Robbins. Ben Robbins is a fantastic community supporter. We also have Southern States Bank. Variety of military branches will be representative. Several veterans escorted by Pine Grove Baptist Church, the Right Step Organization, American Legion Post. I'd like to thank Sarah Automotive Group for providing vehicles for use today. Would you?
Big shout out and thank you to Chief Kelly Johnson and Officer Renee Cummings and all of the officers who are working to keep things running smoothly in the Sylacauga area today as we have the parade. So huge shout out to you guys. Thank you for what you're doing.
I see Officer Mike Davenport directing right now. Here is Radney Smith Funeral Home, one of the sponsors. Here comes our flag carrier, Randy Clark.
I can hear the beepings from here.
I can too. Megan Santos. And I appreciate their service to our country.
Looks like we've got the American Legion coming through in their cute little
Jeep. It looks like we got a cute Jeep with
Jeep coming through.
Oh, how. Looks like John Hall. Thank you, John Hall, for all of your work for helping get the parade together, along with Lisa Garrett at Radney Smith Funeral Home. Southern States Bank. Rolling through now. Great group of folks.
Oh yes, there's someone who's staying out of the rain. What a great talk for today. Who knew it was going to be another rainy day?
American Legion represented again. Another great representation of American Legion. Here we go. We have a wonderful veteran representation. Oh, look at that car. Cowboy Church represented. Not sure who that was that just came by, but thank you for your participation. Some of our signs are falling down due to the wet weather. I apologize for that.
Looks like we've got the American Legion coming through with another vehicle representing Area 45. That's the Air Force Vietnam. We thank you guys for your service.
Okay, we have another veteran representation. prisoner of war. Thank you. Prisoner of war representation. Another veteran representation. Let's see. Oh, look at that car.
I think that's one of my favorite things about parades. Seeing
Yes.
all of the different cars that come through.
That is a adorable car. Oh, here's
Oh, I
another
love that
one.
blue.
Looks like Terry Morris driving. Thank you, Mr. Morris, for your service and sacrifice to our country.
Thank you to the community as well. I see some of you waving flags along the sides of the street, taking cover in such rainy weather. Thank you for coming out anyways and supporting our troops. Regardless of what their weather conditions were, they were there to support us. And so we thank you for your time and your energy to support them.
Here's more veteran representation coming through. We appreciate those vets for stepping up and serving our country.
And who knew how many vets would come from this area? This area is doing so much more than just empowering others in
Yes.
beauty pageants and
Yeah.
to be first ladies. But
Absolutely.
we are a representation of so many more things than that. And so it's just really nice to see some of those veterans coming through and for the service and the years that they represent.
Here comes an old Army truck. Look at that. I
It's got
know.
camouflage and everything. That one is ready to go to
Yes,
war.
that is such a neat truck. Thank you for your service and dedication to our country. Here comes another old Army truck. That is so cool. I know the kids in the community are really enjoying seeing that.
And that's one thing about parades. When you come out in the community, you're not only showing the representation of what you've done, but you're also inspiring others. Those children who look up and see those trucks can aspire to be you guys one day. So thank you for not only your service, but continuing to encourage and support the cause in the community. Ooh, I know those motorcycle drivers are getting nice and wet out there today.
Another veteran representing our community. Brad Hickman, thank you for your service to our country. See who we got here. That more community representatives. Oh, look at that sweet little
look at the puppy.
Rising
That
star.
was Miss Camilla, my sweet teen coming through. And actually this car passing through now are my rising stars. I'm so excited to take them with me all the way to Miss Alabama in the summer.
Oh, look at this vintage vehicle. That is so neat.
Reminds me of the 70s.
Yes, that is such a cool, unique van. It's Mr. Edwards. Thank you so much for your service to our country. Oh, look at this car. We have another veteran represented. Let's see. Okay. Heritage South Bank. Thank you, Heritage South, for your active involvement in our community. Oh, here we go with community leaders. Tony Sarah. Thank you, Tony, for always going above and beyond by donating vehicles for the city councilman and mayor and other city officials.
I see
Oh,
another
there
flag coming
is
through.
my representation, my child, Blakely Heath, waving a flag.
How cute.
They represented me today in the parade. My son, Corbett, Blakely, Maddie Lindley, and my husband, Blake, all representing me today in the parade. And next, we have another city official, Sylacauga Glass, supporting this vehicle. Another public official coming through. Thank you again for Tony Sarah for allowing us the use of your vehicles during the Veterans Day Parade. You're always good to us each year. Here we have a white Mustang carrying an official city leader. Looks like Ashton Fowler. Ashton Fowler serves for District 1 for the City of Sylacauga, Lay Lake Fire. Thank you, Lay Lake, for coming up and joining our parade.
Looks like we've got another fire truck coming through representing Lay Lake.
County Line Fire Department coming up from Coosa County. Thank you, County Line, for your support of our Veterans Day Parade.
Oak Grove coming through now. We're grateful to see all of these fire trucks coming out and the firemen coming and supporting this cause. We're very grateful for their service to the communities as well, in a different way, of course, but we're nevertheless grateful.
Again, I would like to back Valerie up on thanking all of our public safety individuals that are choosing to come and stand out in the rain and direct traffic. Most of them are off today, but they chose to come in and participate for our veterans, and I'm very grateful for their service to our city. Next up, we have Sylacauga High School Band.
I think that's one of my favorite parts about parades as well, is seeing the flags come through, seeing all of the talent in some of these individuals. I sure do wish Camilla could have been twirling instead of riding with a beautiful dress on, but I know that she's representing the Sylacauga area in a different way, and so we're very grateful for that. But I love to see the bands coming through, showing off their hard work.
Absolutely, and especially in this weather, this rainy weather, they're still continuing not to miss a beat. I mean, it's amazing to watch them just preserve and just keep going. Oh,
and there's B.B. Comer as well on the other side.
I do believe that they are marching together.
Looks like we've got one on one side of the street and one on the other.
That's incredible to see them come together and work together for our community as we all represent Sylacauga.
Yes, it's amazing what these holidays will do and the way that holidays can bring others together. Even some of the rivalries, if you see.
Absolutely.
Holidays will just completely eliminate that. And like you said, coming together to support our veterans is such a great cause, and I'm very grateful to see that.
How incredible. What a wonderful initiative. Sylacauga High School Band and B.B. Comer High School Band. They're collaborating on today's parade together. They sound wonderful.
I know those instruments are heavy too, carrying them around in the rain.
Look at their boots, how they're walking in the rain on, a bumpy road. That's incredible. And they never miss a step or a beat. That's just amazing. We have a great group of majorettes and flag carriers led by Whitney Wheeler, Mandy Reams. I know I'm leaving somebody out, but I'm grateful for both of those, for people for stepping up and serving our band.
And I know Miss Whitney's keeping those girls in shape too. She's actually one of the sponsors for the Miss Sylacauga organization, and so I work with her twice a week, and whew, she works us out good.
She is phenomenal. Whitney's a great person and a great trainer. Wonderful performance by Sylacauga High School Band and Comer High School Band. Comer is led by band director Mr. Seaburn, Dan Seaborn. And Sylacauga is led by band director Samuel Childs. Excellent collaboration efforts, guys.
See some horses coming through now, right behind the band.
Oh wow, look at them. That is
Look at their little boots in the red and blue.
how adorable. It's going to be Mountain View Farm and Stables.
Doing a good job, Sergeant.
That concludes our 2023 Sylacauga Veterans Day Parade. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I'm joined here by Valerie Ogle, Miss Sylacauga. I've enjoyed.
Yes, it's been a great
with you
morning.
today.
Just thank you again to all of those who made today possible, especially one more time to our sponsors, Ben Robbins, Coosa Valley Medical, Curtis & Sons Funeral Home, and then also the Radney Smith Funeral Home. Thank you guys for supporting the community and our veterans in the community.
And I would also like to thank Chief Kelly Johnson and Renee Cummings and all the officers working today to make sure that our parade was safe and organized and escorted well. Thank you all for your support of our veterans. And again, happy Veterans Day to each of you who have served and sacrificed for our country. You are very much appreciated.